Hi guys, so today we're going to be having a look at the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture Palette. I was really nervous about buying this because there's so many people with so many negative reviews, people that are really talented that I completely look up to are getting rid of this to not use it because they just felt it was so difficult to work with. So I was really nervous, especially since I've never actually bought any Anastasia before, but we've done it, and my competitive side just forced me into it. I needed to see if I could make this work. So I am going to insert a little clip now, just showing you me working with this palette. I have here a package from Beauty Bay, and it contains the Subculture palette. So, let's bust this open. So I'm sure you guys heard a lot about this palette. I just felt like I needed to put my opinion out there. Bye rubbish. Okay, so I got this in Beauty Bay. It was £41. I got free next day delivery because I was spending over 40. And this is the first Anastasia product I've ever actually tried. So, I also clearly bought this with my own money because, you know, I'm not on mailing lists and stuff. So, right, I'm probably going to do more than one video about this palette, but this particular section is going to be probably the longest. I've decided that I am just going to film in real time me trying to make this work. A lot of people have talked about the amount of effort they've had to put in, and I just wanted to get you guys a really proper view of that, but there will be a shorter video. So it comes with a little written slip with many different languages saying caution and warning, discontinue use if signs of irritation or rash appear. Cool. Don't know if I've ever really seen that on an eyeshadow palette before. Nope, even just peeled back the ingredients bit to see the full thing on my NYX Bright palette, and no, nobody else seems to feel worried about that. So, I am going to start by priming my eyes. Now, I have done my research, and they seem to be against cream primers, which seems strange because I don't really know what other kind there are. But if you do use one, they say to set it with powder. So that's what we are going to do for this eye anyway. So this is just the NYX Proof It eyeshadow primer. And I'm going to set it with my Makeup Obsession eyeshadow in Pearl, which I use every single day. It's only £2, but it's a really nice quality shadow, and I'm just going to give it a loose dusting over with that. Light but thorough dusting over, I should say. So I did realise that I do have one other type of primer in my collection, and I'm not talking about just using concealer because again that's creamy. I have the Makeup Revolution Awesome Liquid Eye Primer, so I'm going to try and prime my other eye with that. I've never used this as a primer before. I've used it as a mixing medium before, but it definitely says on it that it's a primer. So I've just got this on a synthetic brush, and I'm going to pat it across my entire eye area. So we've now already got two different bases to experiment with. Okay, and I'm going to set that as well because it is still liquid, so whatever. It feels very strange to have patted a liquid on as a primer, just being totally honest with you. So, yeah. I've basically pulled out all my fluffiest of brushes to see if we can make this work, and I've got my colour switch out, or well, my cheap copy of a colour switch I should say. So let's bust this open. Okay, totally forgot that there was a loose divider and a brush in this palette. Okay, so we've got the double-ended brush, which is fluffy, but I think a lot of the ones I've pulled out are actually softer, so I'll try a mixture. So yeah, so we've got 14 shades, slightly unusual shades. I have to say, this isn't a palette I would normally have went for. There's maybe 4 or 5 colours that I'm really into, but stubbornness, I had to do it. So I'm gonna start off with their brush. I think as a kind of transition colour I should be using either Dawn or Roxy. Roxy's one I've seen people have problems with, so we're just going to do a tiny dip, and that almost looks like it's picked up no pigment. Okay, so that's not what I was expecting, so I'm going to do another little dip. I put a little bit more pressure on there, tap off my excess, and see what we get. I don't have a plan, by the way. I have no idea what kind of look we're going for. I'm just going to try and play with different colours in different shades. Now, I automatically just want to be using my own brushes because I prefer the longer handles and they're fluffier. So this is a ruby brush that I got free in a subscription box, and still going into Roxy. And just dusting that quite high up. Yeah, I prefer this brush so far to their own, which is strange, but there we go. So other advice that I've read up on this is to tap it on and then, you know, like basically pack it on and then just blend out the edges rather than trying to, you know, normally with a dark crease colour I would put it on and just swirl it all. So we're going to try a couple of different techniques on that. Now, I'm going to go into All Star, which is one of the other ones that I think people have had some issues with. It's this burgundy shade, and I'm going to try that as a bit of a crease colour. So I'm just sticking to the same brush and dipping in and just very gently brushing across. So this feels really interesting because it does seem to be darkening, even though it feels like I should have deposited all the pigment that I lifted already. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit closer, because I know some people have had issues with patchiness once they start really blending, so let's see. Ignore this, I had a little bit of an issue with skin on my eyelid. So I've been watching so many videos on this, and even some of the problems people are having, I'm kind of like, I'm not sure that I'm against that. So some people have said they've had a problem that they've ended up with a cut crease when it wasn't what they were going for. Personally, I love the look of a cut crease, but I'm rubbish at doing them. So something that makes you able to do them almost by accident, it wasn't unappealing, to be honest with you. So I'm going to put a little bit more on this eye just to kind of even that out. So I think we've got a little bit more red going on here. But so far, I'm not having too many problems with this. Okay, so I also want to go into Axis. That's one of the other colours I believe people are having problems with, and also one of the colours that I really love the look of. Axis and Rowdy I really love the look of, but I think what I'm going to do is do Axis in the crease, use Edge to fill in the lid, and top it with Electric for a little bit of shine. So this is a Nancy crease brush, so it's a little bit smaller. It is a little bit stiffer than the last one, so I'm going to hold this up again so that you can see how it's going. Again, not really having problems with it. Maybe I've got a better one. I know there was something about the code numbers, and some were worse than others, but certainly I'm enjoying this palette. And for anybody who's new to my channel, I have no qualifications in makeup. All my study has been YouTube and love, basically. So I am an amateur. So because I've put that green on top of the orange, we are losing a bit of the green shade of it, but that's because these colours are partially opposite. Green and red are opposite on the colour wheel and will kind of cancel each other out, and we did of course use that burgundy in there. So now that I've got the blend, I'm going back in and just in the very centre of that area, adding the green back in. This brush is a great size for that because it's small but still fluffy. Okay, I'm fine with this so far. Eyeshadow brush, in fact, it's not the one I want to use. Ugh. So next I was just going to use Edge. I don't want to use a fluffy brush. I'm going to experiment. I'm going to try and make this work sort of the way I normally do my makeup, and I would normally use a paddle brush. This one is stained as F. But no colour is coming off of it, so oh, colour is coming off of it. Oh no! Who's clean? Try my pyjamas. Sometimes my pyjamas do a much better job. Okay, cool. Right, so we're going to go into Edge, which is this yellowy, mustardy, weird colour. And I'm just going to tap. So we've picked up a little bit of colour. We've not had any major kick off. Let's see. Huh. Okay. That's nice. So I am having to concentrate slightly because I'm used to like swiping my brush across the shadow, and I don't want to do that with these guys because I've been told not to. Or you know, I've read not to, so why create any sort of trouble for myself? So I went slightly over where I wanted to be green, so I'm just going to go back in, neaten that up a little bit. This is an odd combination of colours for me, I will give it that. Right, and then I'm going to go into Electric. So I'm just going to take this fluffy Lamasca shader type brush. Electric's a different finish again, so let's have this be on camera. So tap, tap, and not very much. So do a little swipe swipe. So I had been told that these were a bit strange. You can see it's almost kind of packing up a bit more where I'm swiping it. So let's see if we get any transfer. Okay, so that barely transferred at all, but the more kind of pressure I put on this, the more it's kind of packing down and getting like a crust on it. I don't know a better way to describe that. And my brush was dry, there's nothing on my brush. I'm just going to scrape some off with my nail, partly to try and get back underneath and partly just to pick up some product, which is now grabbed in a clump. That's awesome. Okay. Let's try again. That's better. Oh, Fallout Central. So this colour seems a little bit grabby. Don't really know how else to put that. Grabby. And again, it's gone back to just kind of almost compacting itself. I would be interested to, you know, get a blotting paper against that and see what comes off. Because there's got to be something wet going on for that to happen. I just want to see if it's, you know, enough to actually pick up on a sheet and be visible, because that would be interesting. So okay. I mean, I'm happy with this as a look. I don't think I'm going to be winning any like beauty awards or anything like that, but I think it's pretty. And last little experiment that I couldn't resist. Cube seems to be loved. I'm going to use a sponge tip applicator because why not? And do my inner corner. Okay, so I don't really know what to say. I was expecting this to be a really long video. Just to show you, we have a makeup wipe. So I'm going to wrap that around my finger. That's my fallout from that eye. And that's the fallout from that eye. So I've got a little bit of fallout on my top, and I'm still wearing my pyjamas. I didn't see any point in putting on a clean top because I was told I would get fallout. This is a bleach mark on it and everything. But the only fallout seems to be from that Adorn shade, which is very strange, and that's because I basically had to almost break it up to start using it. So, okay, that's weird. I'm going to go and do my foundation, and then I will try something on the lower lash line as well with a pencil brush, which is where I'm not sure how well this is going to work out. Right, so this is a stage where I'm not sure how well this is going to work out, but we are going to try my lower lash line. So I'm going to start with Axis again and just bring that down to kind of join the two. I've got the Nancy tapered crease brush, which I use as a pencil brush. I don't see this ever really being a crease brush, but there we go. I'm just going to try and be really light-handed. That's fine. And then same on the other side. Again, I'm not getting any fallout, and I'm, you know, okay. I'm going to go into Rowdy just because I really want to, which is the purpley shade here. And I'm just going to do a little bit of that as well. These are some variety. Okay, I went a little bit heavier, so let's even this all out. Clearly getting a bit more confident with dipping into these and swiping them. So that's that. And then who did I use for? Let's go back into their brush actually, and try Cube on the kind of almost paddle side of it, and I'm going to use that to kind of soften that edge a little bit and add a little bit more. And I'm just going to pack up that inner corner again. I'm happy with that as a look. I'm just going to quickly finish off some liner and mascara. I've done my upper lid, but I want to do my waterline, I think. Okay. And where's my mascara? Going in with my really budget 17 mascara that I reviewed last week. I really enjoyed. Mascara faces are always fun. I wonder if there's a hashtag for mascara faces with people's pictures of them. That would be fun. Okay, so I'm going to zoom you in close just to see the finished product. Oh, or I could zoom the wrong way. So I went for a greeny highlight just to tie in with the eye. But ignoring the little sore patch on my eye, this is the side that we used the Makeup Revolution liquid primer with. I don't see any patching, I don't see any oxidization, and this is the side we used the NYX primer with, and again, I don't see any patchiness, I don't see any oxidization. You can just about see the different colours on that lower lash line, which is really cool, kind of makes you want to take a closer look. So yeah, I don't think I will be making 2 videos on this after all, because I was expecting way more problems from what everybody was saying. Now, I am in no way affiliated with Anastasia, so yeah, if you've got any questions about this, let me know. But at the moment, I don't have any issues with it. It's fantastically pigmented. This is how my palette has ended up looking. I haven't cleaned it up. Oh, and I wanted to do the test with the electric shade actually. I went and got my blotting papers especially. They're even green blotting papers. So we're almost colour coordinated. And let's see if anything kind of comes off onto that. I feel really weird doing this. Okay, no, there's nothing really coming off. I'm going to press a little bit harder. Okay. Yeah, I don't see what the issue was with this palette. If you've got any questions, leave them down below. I will get back to you, and I will see you guys later. Bye!